Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This is the third installment of the Hogwarts Legacy series, and we are going to be breaking down what spells could be in the game. So we didn't quite make it to the sub goal for the giveaway, but I'm going to give you guys another chance. We're going to keep it at 250. If we are at 250 subs by the time of the next video, we will be doing the giveaway anyway. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you like the video, and if you want to be a part of this giveaway, and to follow me on our socials are down below in the description. A little side note, I am probably going to be mispronouncing a lot of these spells. Don't hate me in the comments. I'm saying it's how I'm reading it. But thank you for your love and support, and here we go. If you pay attention to the state of play, whenever it's introducing the Charms class, behind our player is a blackboard. On this blackboard we have rows of spells. Well, why would the spells be on there if they're not going to be in the game, for one? So throughout this video we're going to go over each spell, and we're going to talk about the probability of the spells being in the game and the probability of them not being in the game. We're going to go over what they do and their uses. And over their uses we're going to talk about how can they be used in the game if they are going to be in the game. The way the blackboard is set out is it looks like there's a spell on each line, but some of these spells are actually two spells in one. They look like they go together, but they really don't. So without further ado, let's break down this board. If I missed a spell on the board, it's probably because I went over it in the last video, and that means it is already confirmed to be in the game. The board is Lucio. Lucio is the incantation of a charm that could be used to transform a staircase into a smooth slide. It's a very old charm. It has been used since the Middle Ages according to the lore, but it is a very cool concept of a spell. I don't know how well you'd be able to do this in the game or how they would allow us to implement it unless it be part of a mission. But I mean, if there's a lot of fighting around staircases, like if you're fighting in Hogwarts in the Grand Staircase, I think that'd be kind of cool to turn the stairs into slides and make your enemies fall down right to you. But again, I don't know if that will be in the game, but it is on the board, so expect the unexpected, I guess. The next one we're going to talk about is Lomora. Lomora is the unlocking charm. We see this in the books and the movies quite often to unlock anything locked. We even see it in the Fantastic Beasts movies also. Lomora unlocks anything from doors and windows and such. It is the counter of the locking spell Teleportus. We can definitely see us using Lomora in the game, whether it's locked doors and stuff like that may not be accessible early on in the game. We may have to learn the spell before we get into those locked doors to get stuff. So I can definitely see the use of having Lomora in the game, but we'll see as the game comes out. The next spell on the list is going to be Avis. Avis is the bird conjuring charm. Now, I don't know if we're going to be using this much in the game, but if we were to be using it in the game, imagine just summoning birds to attack enemies on will. It can kind of be used as using some kind of companionship with any type of animal, because we know you can use other types of creatures and stuff for the dueling, but I'm not sure what else they could use this for. I'm not sure we can expect to see this in the game. The Fisky was the incantation of a healing charm that healed relatively minor injuries such as a broken nose, toes, and split lips. We do see Luna Lovegood use this on Harry in the 6th movie and the 6th book whenever Draco Malfoy breaks Harry's nose by kicking him in the face. So whether or not this will be in the game or not is beyond me. It depends on what kind of healing they're going to offer us, whether we are limited to only potions and plants or if we're going to have certain spells as well. I will not be going over spells that we did in the last video because those ones are confirmed. This is only the spells that are not confirmed and that could also very well be in the game. Next up we have Immobilis. Immobilis is the freezing charm. Kind of like Petrificus Totalis, but it's a little bit different. It's a charm which immobilize and stop the actions of the target, so they can be stopped in any form or way. With the use of this charm, the movement of living or animated targets was stopped, and the functioning of objects such as muggle burglar alarms are halted. But this can be used for anything other than just people. It can be used as objects, animated or inanimate. I can definitely see how this could be used in the game if it stops alarms and everything like that. It would definitely come in help. We do see it used in the movie whenever they're stopping the fairies from flying around. Okay, so now to move on, we're going to go to Lacarnum Inflammare. Lacarnum Inflammare was the incantation of a charm used to ignite cloaks or other items of clothing worn by individuals. We do see this done in the movies by Hermione whenever she's putting Severus Snape's cloaks on fire in the first movie. Again, we can see the uses of this spell. It can definitely be used in the game. We already know we have Incendio, so I don't know if they would actually add this into the game or not, but it is on the board and it definitely will have its uses if it is in the game. So I could definitely see them using it, but I don't see why they would want it in there if we already have Incendio and they're already using Incendio to ignite your opponents on fire. But we will see what they end up doing, if it's going to be in the game or not, but it is on the board. The legitimacy spell was a charm that allowed the caster to delve into the mind of the victim, permitting the caster to see their memories, emotions, and thoughts. We see Snape do this to Harry whenever he's trying to train him to keep Voldemort out of his head. So whether or not we're going to get this in the game is beyond me. I don't know how we could use this against AI opponents or how it's going to help us at all, but maybe some kind of story cutscene that we use it or something along those lines. I don't see us being able to use it in a battle per se, but this definitely could be in the game under the right pretexts. Next up is Expecto Patronum. The Patronus Charm is probably the most famous and one of the most powerful defensive charms known to wizard kind. It was immensely complicated and extremely difficult spell that evoked a partially tangible positive energy force known as Patronus. This is the primary protection against Dementors. Now, if Dementors are in the game, it's very possible that the Patronus Charm will be in the game. And I can definitely see us using it because it has been in games before, but that all rides on whether Dementors are a thing in the game or not. Next on the board, we see Nox Lumos. Well, Nox and Lumos are not spells together, but they are kind of similar. So, Lumos is the charm that we see used in the movies and the books to basically turn your wand into a flashlight, whereas Nox is used to extinguish the light from the wand. So they are like counter spells to each other, but you can't use one without using the other. Next up is Periculum. Periculum is the incantation of a charm that allowed the caster to send out bursting red sparks from their wand. We see this in the Goblet of Fire when Harry needs to do it to send for help in the maze. I don't know what we could possibly need to do this in the game for to send red sparks out, but again, it could be some kind of puzzle or something that needs us to do because we know there are puzzles in the game. So whether or not it be in the game, that's way past me, but the more the merrier. Next up we have Pierre Totem Locomotor. I'm sorry if I did that with an accent. I was just picturing Professor McGonagall saying it. But she uses this incantation in the Deathly Hallows to turn those gargoyles into moving objects that are going to be used to help defend Hogwarts. I can definitely see this being used in the game. If we can see statues and stuff like that with weapons standing around, we could be casting this on them and then they become allies to help us. But yes, this would be really cool if they did add this to the game, especially since, as McGonagall says,
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Next on the list is Protego Horribilis. Protego Horribilis is the incantation of a charm that can be used to defend a certain area against attack. It is a very complex charm. As Harry Potter noted, Professor Flitwick performed this charm in May of 1998 to prepare Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry for the Battle of Hogwarts, among many other enchantments. We do see this done in the Deathly Hallows. A bunch of Protego Horribilis and other charms are put together to make that big shield around Hogwarts. So this apparently is going to be a very powerful Protego than what we usually see in other games. So maybe we could be using this spell to protect a certain object or beast or person in the game. I don't know if it's going to be used all the time. Like, I don't think you can put it around you all the time, but I can see how they could implement this in the game, and I just don't know if it would be a very common spell that we'd be able to use. But we never know. We'll see. Alright, so next we're going to be going over Relatio. Relatio forces targets to let go of other objects or whatever they're holding. We can definitely use this spell in the game. I believe it can be easily incorporated to whether you're going against a target to make him release it, or even if it's just a cutscene of us making like a bad guy that's holding a weapon that we need release it. Or like for example, let's say that you're chasing a target who's holding something that you need, where it's some kind of object or magical item. We use Relatio to make them drop it, then we can get into a battle. It is not the same as Expelliarmus, because Expelliarmus is specifically for weapons in people's hands, but Relatio, this could be used in the game, and I can definitely see how they would implement it into the game. Relatio is not one of the spells that would probably be used in dueling. It's probably going to be one of the spells that we use as we are going around the world. Rictus Sempra is a very commonly used spell by Hermione and Harry throughout the books, and not so much in the movies, but it was used a lot in the books. It is known as the Tickling Charm. It's a spell that causes the victim to buckle with laughter. It also has at least 2 other side effects on the victim. It is usually used as a diversionary tactic in duels. So Rictus Sempra essentially is supposed to make you start laughing uncontrollably, and also is supposed to make you open to other attacks because you're laughing uncontrollably. In the movie, we don't really get to see this. Every time we see Rictus Sempra used, it just knocks someone over, like in the duel between Harry and Malfoy. It just knocks him over. He's not laughing or anything. It's a little something that always kind of got on my nerves, because in the books, every time someone got hit with it, they're laughing uncontrollably. So it's definitely a much stronger spell than what we get to see in the movies, and I am curious to see how they use it in the game. And again, this spell is not confirmed into the game, but it is a spell that we could definitely see be used in the game. Okay, and next on the list is going to be Turgiot. Turgiot is a spell I haven't heard before. I don't think it's been in any of the books or movies, but it is a wiping spell. You basically use it to clean glasses or dust stuff. I don't see how this would be useful in the game, but you never know. Maybe it's a way to get trophies or something like that. But it was on the board, and I'm not sure how they could apply it in the game, but it is there. And now for the last two spells that could possibly be in the game. These were not on the board, but since we got to see Avada Kedavra in the state of play, one can only imagine, can we use the Cruciatus Curse and the Imperious Curse? Of course, the Cruciatus Curse is the Torturing Curse. I hope to see this in the game as well. A lot of people don't see how we can use it in the game, but I think we can use it to make openings and dueling. The Imperious Curse, I definitely see how we can use this in a game where we are controlling people to do our bidding, whether it's to open up certain doors or to fight their own friends and teammates as well. I definitely hope to see these in the game, and I really hope that we are able to learn them. And thank you guys for watching the third installment of the Hogwarts Legacy series on the channel. If you guys like it, please like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas of what you want to see in the next video, please let me know down in the comments below. And be on the lookout for that next video. And again, make sure that you're keeping an eye on the social media for the giveaway if we hit 250 subscribers. And I'll see you all in the next one.